Hi, my name is Jeff Magidson, Red House Music Director. Today I'm going to give you a tour of our Solo Trax guitar program. As you might have guessed from the name, the Solo Trax program is designed to get you started improvising. Now, most methods start by teaching you the pentatonic scale, which is the bread and butter for rock and blues improvisation. Here's where a Solo Trax is different. In order to play a killer solo, it's not enough to be able to play a scale. You need to know how to use it. That means understanding some important concepts like call and response, resolution, and phrasing. These techniques are demonstrated in the very beginning of the book. Check it out. In that solo, I used call and response in the first 4 measures. I played 3 notes, and then I left some space. That's the call. Then I played 3 different notes. That's the response. In the second part of the solo, I repeated a sequence of notes a few times to build things up. I kept it going until the middle of the next measure. That's phrasing, how you string ideas together to keep it interesting. At the end of the solo, I made sure to resolve on the tonic. That's like putting a period at the end of a sentence. It tells the listener that an idea is finished. If a song is in the key of A is the tonic. Listen for these techniques as I play the solo again. Here's the call. Here's the response. Here's the repetition to build, finishing in the middle of the next measure to make for an interesting phrase. And here's the resolution on the tonic. The saying goes, it's not what you play, it's how you play it. And what we're talking about is expression. Stringed instruments have a huge advantage over the piano and other instruments because the same note can be played so many different ways. It allows you to be more expressive. You can bend, hammer on, pull off, and slide. Let's listen to a solo played without the use of these techniques. Let's listen to a solo played with the use of these techniques. You can hear how these techniques make a huge difference in the intensity that you can bring to a musical phrase. They can be a little tricky to execute at first, but your instructor will be at your side to help you master them. As I said before, the pentatonic scale is the go-to scale for soloing in rock and blues, and you will learn it in Solo Trax, but with a unique approach. The scale is divided into 5 patterns, but just knowing the patterns isn't enough. You need to learn specific phrases called licks to really make the scale musical. These licks are the building blocks of any solo. So each time you learn a new pattern, you'll also learn 3 short solos to help you build up your lick repertoire. The solos were created and performed by myself and 2 other Red House guitar instructors. Since each pattern has a different fingering, they all lend themselves to different techniques and licks. For example, in some patterns, it's easier to bend strings. In others, it's easier to use hammer-ons and pull-offs. Here's a solo I created for pattern 3. The bottom of pattern 3 is a great place for hammer-on pull-offs. Check it out. Here's Lundy performing a solo he created for pattern 4.
All right, so this is a solo. I start with a double stop each time, and then I do some bends and some licks in the A-shaped pentatonic scale. In between is kind of the response. So the double stop is a call, and the licks are a response. So let's take a listen. It goes like this. 3, 4.
Each time you learn a new pattern, you need to be able to link it to the previous pattern, gradually learning to work your way all the way up the neck. We've created specific solos to help you find your way. Here's a solo Jeff Kalmbach created, linking pattern 3 and 4.
I'm basically using call and response in this solo. Notice how the second half is the same idea played an octave higher. It's important to be able to do this and really worth practicing. I finished the solo with an ascending line using a consistent rhythmic idea and some slides. 3, 4.
One of the most important skills for any musician is to learn how to transcribe solos. That means listening to a solo and figuring it out on your own. Solo Trax has an entire section of ear training and transcription exercises in order to help you develop your ear. Transcribing might sound hard, but we give you the context and enough clues to help you get started. Plus, your instructor will be there to guide you if you get stuck. One other technique that's a lot of fun to learn is how to use the whammy bar. Brooks Lundy, our resident whammy expert, has written up some killer whammy bar solos for you.
This is a solo that borrows a lot from Steve Vai and kind of the dive bomb scoop notes coming up to, I'm using a combination of bending and the whammy bar to really come up high to notes. So let's try it.
There are other important skills you'll learn in the Solo Trax program. How to use the major pentatonic scale, creating a solo based on the melody of a song, combining scales, way too much to go into here. Like all the other books in the series, Solo Trax comes with a play-along CD with all the exercises, so you can practice at home right alongside your instructor. It's also got 15 practice tracks at the end, so you can jam out and create your own solos. Thanks for listening. And be sure to come and see us if you'd like to find out more.